From there, I want to go to the players who will have a breakout year. And there's actually quite a few that I could have picked. I picked 2 Buckeyes. I picked 2 Buckeyes out of 3 players. Sorry, they're talented. Don't hate the player, hate the game. That's all I'm saying. Don't hate the player, hate the game. You seen how they recruiting? They recruiting like an SEC West team. They're recruiting not like they want to win the Big Ten West, but Big Ten West, like they want to win the Big Ten championship, but like they want to beat Alabama in the national championship. There are levels to this. All right? Again, don't hate the player, hate the game. That said, I've been all in on Jack Sawyer from the moment that he was a Buckeye. That dude was bred to play defensive end at Ohio State. If you looked at him and thought that was the third Bosa brother, nobody would tell you were wrong, okay? Coming out of Pickerington North, this dude played both ways, threw passes that were touchdowns as a quarterback, was an outstanding edge rusher, forewent his last year of high school football so he could get to Ohio State earlier. Has been there for a full year now. He's going to be one of those guys that Larry Johnson Sr. is going to be throwing in the heavy rotation. Watch out for number 33. Marvin Harrison Jr. on the other side, playing wide receiver. Now, Buckeye fans are like, oh yeah, RJ, he going to pick Marvin Harrison Jr. Yes, because you follow Ohio State football and I'm doing a national college football show. Not everybody's familiar with who Marvin Harrison Jr. is as a player. They might have saw a little bit of it in the Rose Bowl because he actually caught, I believe it's 3 touchdown passes in that game where Jackson Smith and Jigba went for 347 and change. It's also about how these dudes have been working in the offseason, and Marvin Harrison just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. He is bigger than his old man is or was as a pro catching passes from Peyton Manning. And he was bigger when he got to Ohio State than that. And all he has done is grown into looking like the second coming of David Boston out there. You're going to have Jackson Smith or Jigga over here. You're going to have Marvin Harrison Jr. over here. Emeka Egbuka, Julian Fleming are still there, guys. It's a problem over there, right? For Marvin Harrison Jr., it's about, is he going to get that many targets? Because I expect every 3-4 passes might be a house call for the Buckeyes this year. It's lethal over there. I don't want no problems with that. Who wants problems with that? And then the last player I want to focus here is a true freshman, National Gatorade Player of the Year, running back at Penn State, Nick Singleton. Now, Nick Singleton is out there going after Saquon Barkley's lifting records. Start there. Start with he's already in the conversation with the Quad Father, with Quadzilla. He's that type of athlete. He's that type of tailback. Now, they got 3 tailbacks that they really like at Penn State, but I like Nick Singleton the most, okay? You heard me waxing poetic about Travion Henderson for 2 years. He got to true freshman year. Everybody's like, hey, he's going to be behind Master T. We got other dudes that came in with him like Evan Pryor that said, I'll wait. And what'd you see? You saw what I saw, all right? That's who Nick Singleton can be. If the offensive line is even close to decent, I expect that man to be this year what Braylon Allen was last year, what Travion Henderson was last year. He's got that kind of juice to him. So those are my 3 players who I think will have breakout seasons. 2 are sophomores. 1 is a true freshman. Okay, next question we have on the show. How many teams can compete for the college football playoff in the Big Ten Conference? I think we're going to top it out at 6 here, guys. Now, that's not too shabby considering it's a 14-team league. Ohio State, Michigan, Michigan State, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Penn State. So I got 4 teams in the Big Ten East, and I think I got 2 teams in the Big Ten West. Purdue was almost there for me, but not quite, right? I just want to see the defense, resemble a defense in 2022 before I start talking about them being in the college football playoff. Look, man, if you're going to be giving up 450 a game out here like Texas, I can't be talking about you like that, all right? Like, I need to see some real change there. And I've seen some with Texas. I haven't seen a whole bunch with Purdue. It's basically they're going to try to fix their scheme, which might be it. Might be that simple. But until then, we're going to keep them on the fringes. I think Ohio State is fairly obvious, right? Offensively, you're going to be elite. Can the defense be average to above average? You're playing for a conference championship, national championship. Michigan, can you be what you were last year? Now, I know we have a QB battle going on at Michigan, but I think that's Cade McNamara's job. Why do I say that's Cade McNamara's job? Because he had it all last year. And Jim Harbaugh said to me, I see Cade McNamara and it's like looking at a younger Jimmy Harbaugh. I don't know too many head coaches that pick against seeing a younger version of themselves play football. That's just me there, dog. That one's free. Okay. Now you're gonna lose Aiden Hutchinson, David Ajobo on your defense. You lose Dax Hill, who is quite literally the purest football player I've ever seen with my own two eyes. Coming from my hometown to Tulsa, you got a lot that you got to change up over there. But you got Blake Corum coming back in the backfield, Donovan Edwards coming back in the backfield. Play great defense, run the football, you'll be all right. A lot of this is going to be on Sharon Moore, Matt Weiss calling the offense. And then you're going to have to try to get back what you had with Mike McDonald. Right? We'll see. Okay. After that, Michigan State, Peyton Thorne, continue to make those leaps. You're great on play action pass, but that means you got to be able to run the football. I think with Jarek Broussard transferring from Colorado and Jalen Berger transferring in Wisconsin, you're going to have some of that. Just keep the lid on the defense. You're going to be all right. Wisconsin, it's the Braylon Allen show. If you get a conscious Graham Mertz, then we can start talking about this, because that's still Jim Leonard calling the defense. All right, like defense going to be all right. If Bobby Ingram can get through to Graham Mertz and have that dude playing like the Russell Wilson that we thought he was going to be, Wisconsin can be a problem and make the college football playoff. I mentioned Penn State. Get Sean Clifford back on good pace. You get Nick Singleton running the ball. You find some of the form you had with Brent Pry running the defense. You're going to be all right. Solid running backs, returning starting quarterbacks, good defense. That's how I made this list of teams that can make the college football playoff from the Big Ten. Okay, last question that we have here for the Big Ten preview. Who will play and win the B1G championship? I picked Ohio State because, yes, I'm already been booed. You're listening through the podcast. You still love me. I appreciate that. But I picked Minnesota in the Big Ten West. Okay, there's a few reasons why. Tanner Morgan's coming back for what seems like a 15th year of eligibility. Wants to be back. He's also becoming more and more look like PJ Fleck. Like, for instance, I get so much out of going on these media day tours. I get so many anecdotes, but more than that, I get to see people that I just haven't seen for like a year. So I meet Tanner Morgan, and I say, how are you doing today? And he says, I'm doing elite. Cool. I meet PJ Fleck later in the day. I say, how are you doing? He says, I'm doing elite. I said, Tanner said the same thing, and y'all are starting to look similarly. PJ Fleck has been nothing but good at Minnesota. I think Tanner Morgan getting back with the offensive coordinator and Kurt Soraka is going to be a good thing for Minnesota. They also got Mo Ibrahim back there, who was taking apart Ohio State's defense before anybody knew that it was Ohio State's defense in 2021. I think they're going to be all right. I think they're going to be pretty good. You get guys like Chris Auden-Bell to come out here and playing like that kind of dude, like Dalen Wright to start playing like that kind of dude, and you get a 3,000, 3,500-yard pass out of Tanner Morgan, it's easy to see how you're in the Big Ten championship. You beat an Iowa that was a takeaway defense, but that's really difficult to repeat. Like tackling people, they still got those, but those interceptions, that's found money. You can't just bet on that. That's a really unpredictable statistic. And then you're talking about Wisconsin. This is me saying I don't know that Graham Mertz is going to be a better quarterback than Tanner Morgan in 2022. I don't think that's a wild take. In fact, I think that's a pretty lukewarm take based entirely on what we've seen from Graham Mertz and what we've seen from Tanner Morgan. When Tanner Morgan is on, he's on. I have yet to see Graham Mertz on. Honestly, I've seen Wisconsin be on when Graham Mertz is quarterback. I have not seen Graham Mertz be the dude that is powering a Wisconsin offense. And to be fair, that's not really a job as a quarterback at Wisconsin, which is why I always thought that pairing was kind of interesting. It's the job of the offensive line and the tailback. So we'll see, right? But they're doing a lot to try to make Braylon a lot more comfortable back there, and I think they're going to be decent. I'm just not going to pick them for the Big Ten West Championship right now. I'm just going to pick Minnesota. So I got Ohio State and Minnesota playing in the B1G Championship, and I believe the winner of that game does get selected to the college football playoffs. So the Big Ten, congratulations, you're going to get in again. Just be good. That's all. Thanks for watching this video, and remember, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos on the #1 ranked show YouTube channel.